This is leetcode 56, merge intervals. Given an array of intervals where intervals I equals start and merge your overlapping intervals and return an array of the non-overlapping intervals that cover all the intervals in input. My thought process with doing this problem is that you would first want to sort all the intervals in order to get the start times in ascending order. You also want to make sure that, so what defines an overlapping interval? And the overlapping interval would be if the start time of a succeeding interval is less than the end time of the preceding interval. For example, in this example, the first interval is 1, 3, and the second interval is 2, 6. So that would qualify as an overlapping interval. What I'm thinking of doing is using a heap in order to sort the intervals and compare the interval that's inside a heap with the ascending interval after it. And then if it overlaps, I want to pop out that interval, push in the edited interval, which would be an interval with the minimum start time and the maximum end time. That would be my overlapping interval. And we'll keep on doing that until all the intervals that are overlapping are merged. And if they're not overlapping, I would want to push that to my resulting array. So now I have my thought process laid out, I'm going to start coding. I want to first import a heap package, heapq. As I said, you want to sort intervals first. This sorts it by the start time. And I want to create my heap, which would have, initially, it will have the first interval of the interval array. Now, I want to loop through my intervals, starting from the second interval on. And I want to compare the interval that's in my heap to the next interval. So if heap and heap, if the end time of my interval in my heap is greater than or equal to my interval, the start time of my interval, I want to pop it out. heapq.heap pop heap. And I want to create my merge interval, which would be min popped interval 0 and intervals I 0, and the end time would be the maximum. Popped interval 1 and intervals I 1. Now that I merged, I want to push that back into my heap. And if it's in the else statement, I'm going to pop out my interval. I also forgot to initiate my resulting array. I want to push that into my resulting array. And I want to append I want to push into my heap the new interval. The next interval, I mean. I also have an edge case where if in the heap, there's still intervals in a heap, I want to make sure that they're all popped out and pushed to my resulting array. So I'll do a while heap condition, popped, and I push that into my array. Return result. It works for my test cases, and it works for all the cases. The runtime complexity of this would be O of NlogN, because we're looking through the intervals one time, and we're also pushing and popping out an interval, which is O log n. So that would be O n log n time. Thanks, guys. See you soon. See you next.